Hey, this is Ken Nelson with the Tactical Performance Center. Let's look at 3 ways to rock your draw. You're like, hey Ken, how could you possibly talk to me about the draw when you don't even have a holster on or a real gun? It's on purpose. Most people focus too much on that component of the draw. That's not where the problem lies. Right, so the first thing, we're going to talk about 2 technical things related to how you're doing the draw and how you can improve that. Then we're going to talk about a mindset about measuring the draw. I consider these the 3 things you can do that will rock your draw and give you first hits that win. The first is we really need to focus on rising with sights aligned. Now remember, a draw is not how fast you get the shot off. A draw is how fast you get a hit. Okay? I see lots of people with .6 draws that miss, even if they're doing good, they're missing, 40% of the time. I don't consider that a good draw. That's basically spray and pray. Right? So rising with sights aligned is your key to getting hits every time. We've got videos on this, 4 or 5 videos. To summarize, the way we find it is we literally just aim the gun. Right now my sights are equal height, equal light. While my hand is on the gun, I am keeping that wrist stiffened and at that angle. It's called sight alignment by feel. Right? So both hands are on the gun, both hands are stiff, and it's happening at the same angle. And I'm going to go this way so you can see it better. I've got equal height, equal light, perfect sight picture, sight alignment as we call it. Notice the wrist angle, both hands. While that hand's touching, both wrists are stiff and at the same angle. Left hand's off, nothing changes in it or in my strong hand. I put the gun away in my imaginary holster, and at that point, my hands are free to do whatever they want. So when my hands are touching this gun, that wrist is stiff and it's at the angle that I aim at. That's the first tip. What you're going to find is that arriving with sights aligned turns aiming into confirming. It also gives you confidence that you feel the shots there. It broadens your definition of what you're seeing to include feel, and that makes you that much quicker. Also, the rising part is another part of this that is often overlooked. I want you to do this for me. Look at my finger when I point it at you. Watch it shake. That's the punch method. Okay? Yeah, the gun's getting out there about the same pace as any other technique, but you're adding a big circle of error at the end. Go ahead and do it with your own finger. Just point at something and press out at it. Okay? So the rise uses gravity pulling down to basically stop. Right on purpose, or right on point. All right, so that's the rise, important, with sights aligned. Okay, I showed you quickly how to do it, and we have 3 or 4 videos where we go into it in excruciating detail because it is extremely important. Now, the rise part of this leads me into my second thing, which is do it at the pace of pointing. Now, there's 2 parts to this. What is the pace of pointing? The first is it's just literally just point at something. You're not shooting, you're just pointing at something. With some people, I say, hey, which target's yours? Oh, it's that one, sir. All right, great. Well, lift your gun at that pace. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is how many repetitions do you have of pointing? Bazillions. Since you're a little kid pointing at the cookie jar, you've got a lot of good reps of pointing at stuff. All right? So why don't we leverage that experience and use it as part of your draw? Here's another thing. Look what happens when you point. It rose, which is what I'm asking you to do here. There's a lot of good things that come from rising at the pace of pointing. Another key part of that is I'm not tense anywhere, except in my hand that I need to stiffen and raise my finger and point. A little bit here to lift my arm. That's another thing you want to feel in your stance. So there's a lot of good that comes from rising at the pace of pointing. Notice how we're not anywhere near the holster yet? Yeah. This is going to fix your draw no matter what system you're using. Pick up off a table, battlefield pickup, IWB in the appendix carry, it does pocket carry. All those ways of storing the gun eventually get here where we should have our sight alignment by field complete and then rides at the pace of pointing. So if you fix this part, you're going to fix the most important part of your draw. Now, we get away from technique and we get into how to think about the draw. And I want to stress that the most consistent fast draw is what you want to go for. I don't care how fast your fastest draw is. I might smile and congratulate you, but I'm going to ask you immediately, what's your average of your last 10? You have to think about the draw as what can you deliver basically 100% hits the last 10, 15, 20. Okay, we have a TPC 24 target. I don't really remember the last time I drew to it and missed at 7 yards and in. Just doesn't happen. That is not part of my program. All right, not saying I'm the best drawer in the world. What I have done is built a system that provides me the most consistent fast draw that I can build. And I encourage you to do the same. In other words, look at your draw over time. Look at it for consistency, because the first hit wins, and I want you to be the person that got that first hit and knows they're going to do it. So you know the deal. Share this if you think it'll help somebody. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe and the bell button so you get notified. And I'm Ken Nelson. I'll see you on the range.